William McCray.
It dilutes the impact of the word racism when it is thrown around in a very cavalier manner. And it is frustrating that people will just throw it out there as if it really does not carry any weight.
Keith James, in the last commission meeting, you stated the reasons why you voted the way you did against Rick Curtis, and you felt he was attempting to get a second bite at the apple. You did not publicly voice the same concerns when our former finance director, Randy Sherman, was allowed to convert his termination into a resignation the day after he was fired by Mayor Murillo, enabling him to collect a 90-day severance pay and clear his record. Rick Curtis was charged with a DUI but exonerated by the courts that charged him and still denied his job back. However, Esposito is still working for the city after being convicted for 2 DUIs. It appears that only blacks or you have concerns with getting a second bite at the apple. The most dangerous thing in the life of black people, second only to racism, is elitist blacks. Elitist blacks are largely responsible for the lack of progress and diminished quality of life experienced by the black masses. Elitist blacks are some ministers, some imams, some religious leaders, some business owners, some politicians, some community leaders, some college graduates who align themselves with the power structure to sustain their existence in that relationship with the power structure by exploiting, misrepresenting, and misleading the black masses. Ivy League universities like Harvard look for people like you to train you, recruit you, and stymie efforts and rubber stamp the racism that is perpetrated on black people by people like you. You're not a sports athlete, and therefore you had nothing to offer them, and they really didn't want you there. But they knew that you would sell out and betray black people. It's not funny. Members of the black elite often have the same opinions and viewpoints toward the black masses as racist people. They are almost white people in blackface. They have the same ambitions, same goals, and they are just as interested in moving out of neighborhoods and not supporting black people in their neighborhoods. They treat black children just as poorly and meanly as a racist would do. Black elites are the biggest reason for the lack of progress within the black masses. What they do is set themselves up as leaders for the black masses. What you have are Negroes who don't like black people, who are misleading black people. These are people who are so quick to be appointed to government positions that are of influence to the black community and give a false belief or notion that they actually do some good for black people, and they are not. Some people like to call black elitists bourgeois. These black elitists, civil rights leaders, and ministers are doing nothing of substance to help black people. All they do is feed off of black people's emotions. These are the people who set up in a church in a black neighborhood and do nothing from the community but extract hundreds of thousands of dollars from the neighborhood, and often under the disguise of faith-based initiatives. These are people who run for public offices and never do anything of substance for black people. All they do is help themselves at the expense of black people. They may appear to represent different factions of the community, but at the end of the day, they come together in secret and in private and meet amongst themselves. These are the very people who are careful about their words. They don't say too much when racism strikes black people because of their relationship with the power structure that prohibits them from going to war with this power structure. They often have a relationship with the racists, and it's their job to calm blacks down.
Thank you, Mr. McCray.
So they're not forced to do the job that they should be doing.
Thank you, Mr. McCray.